Will he destroy everything today? Hopefully not. Hopefully not. The plan is to not destroy anything today. So, at the end of the last stream, we were working on setting up a sag mill to automatically turn our cobblestone into gravel, and then sift our gravel, collect it, process it, all that kind of good stuff. And since the end of the last stream, I've done a bit more work in kind of tidying some stuff up. I have got here all of the stuff required to make 3 more sag mills, because of course, over on this side, we want to be able to turn cobble into gravel, gravel into sand, sand into dust. For that, we need 3 sag mills to do it. But before we get into actually crafting and using those sag mills, we are going to need to get ourselves a decent source of power, because right now we are still using this one wee little spectre coil for all of our power. I've been moving this around between all of the different machines, trying to get everything to work, and it's a pain. And so one of the core things that we are going to work on doing in today's stream is getting a decent source of power. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think that my energy cell is in here. It is indeed. So let me whack this down right about there, and let me kind of walk you guys through some of the stuff that I've done between episodes here. The first of which is tidy things up. Well, the first of which is, I guess, duplicate the setup that we have on this side over here. You know, we've got the magma crucible pumping into the casting table. On this side, we have the exact same setup, magma crucible pumping into a casting table with an ingot cast in it, creating all the ingots from all of the ore chunks that we put in there. And essentially, if we come back here, the way that it works is all of the ore chunks, if we head on up to the top, like a little bit behind here, all of the ore pieces that are generated by sifting are both sent down and through to their respective sides. So on this side, we've got a diamond filter sending all of the ore pieces to the green side, and then over on this side, we're sifting gravel, and all of the ore pieces go to the yellow side. Anything that's not an ore piece that is also gathered from sifting, so in this case, lapis, diamonds, coal, etc., all of that stuff goes directly into the storage drawers. Same on this side here. And then anything that's not sifted, anything that's not supposed to be being picked up. So, for example, if I throw some sugarcane here, it will be picked up by the hoppers, but it will head on around to this kind of centralized pipe, which goes down and connects up to a storage crate, which I have in. Oh, I can't get back here. Oh my goodness, it's a bit messy back here, guys. Don't worry about it. It's a little tiny bit messy, but that all pumps back around to this one centralized small storage crate, essentially allowing me to kind of get all the stuff quite easily if I do accidentally drop something on the floor. So, now that we've kind of gone over and showed you that, I think that's pretty much everything here. I do also have another wooden transport pipe pulling things out of the casting table, sending it around and also pumping it into a controller slave so that it does connect up to the drawer system and put all the ingots into their respective drawers. What else have I done between episodes? I've sorted out my storage scanner as well. This is all now fully set up. You'll see I've got rid of all the stuff that we don't want, and I've added and made everything that we do want routable. So now I should be able to use this throughout the course of today's stream. Over here, we've got stuff that we've seen before, but it's all nice and neatly packed away now into the wall. We've got our cobblestone generator is just under there, pumping into a storage drawer. That is then pumping around into the crucible and also putting stuff into the compacting drawer. And then over here, we've got lava that we can just grab from if we ever need it, which is quite nice. Over here, we've got our furnaces, and then here we are ready to put down more bonsai pots if we get more saplings that we would like to use in the near future here. But I think that's about everything. I think that's everything that I've done between streams. There's not a whole lot. Oh no, of course, the one final thing that I've done between streams is I have made an alumite hatchet. It is exactly the same, material for material, identical to the pickaxe that we made. It has an alumite head, it has a magical wood rod, and it has a wooden binding. And also, just before the stream started today, I was working on making a hammer along the same lines here. You'll see that it's got an alumite head, it's got an alumite plate, an electrum plate, and then also a magical wooden tool rod. It doesn't have any wood in it, and so it's not going to be ecological, although I'm still not convinced, really, that this is doing anything. Like, our durability is at 950, and I don't think it's going up, although I could be wrong. It could just be really slow, and I'm not seeing it. But nevertheless, we have a hammer now, essentially just so that we can kind of dig through the walls. This thing is quite slow. I noticed it's got a mining speed of 3.24, which is not great. You know, it's not incredibly fast. It's actually quite slow, but because we've got that magical wood on there, it does mean that we have, again, 5 modifiers ready and raring to go. Unfortunately, the modifier required to make your tools faster is redstone, and right now, because we are not auto-sifting dust, we don't have that much in the way of redstone. We've only got 102, but what we do have a decent amount of now is those that infinity dust, this stuff right here, because of the fact that this gravel has been sifting in a diamond stiffened mesh throughout the course of like the last day or so, which is quite nice. And so that brings me on to what I want to work on in today's episode, and that is generating some power, right? I want to get a base source of power up and running, and I'm thinking the way that we're going to do that is using trees, right? And that, by that, I don't mean a tree farm. I don't mean pumping wood into like generator of some description. I guess any generator would work. What I mean is we're going to start with the Arboreal Extractor, which I cannot spell for the life of me. Is it Arboreal? It is. This guy right here, the Arboreal Extractor, which if you place down next to specific trees will generate resin passively. It doesn't require any power whatsoever. We can then take that resin, this stuff right here, and pump it into a fractionating still, this guy right here. Again, not too hard to make. Some Constantan gears, a nickel gear, machine frame, 2 glass, and then redstone reception coil. This will turn that resin into tree oil and also give you a 50% chance of getting resin, which is quite nice. It can be used as a steam generator to produce a little bit of extra power, but mainly we're after that tree oil there, which can be pumped into a compression dynamo, and then 1 bucket worth of that tree oil will produce 400,000 redstone flux in total, which is pretty cool. So all of this power should be generated pretty much free of charge. The fractionating still does use power, I believe. You can see here on the left, but it doesn't use all that much, and I'm hoping the system will generate more power than it uses to make the power. I'm fairly certain it will work, but we're going to try it anyway and see if it does work. And so the first thing that we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and craft these, so those are ready to go for later. I'll put them in the system for now because, again, we don't really have the power to use them just yet, but let me see here. Let's see about getting ourselves our first Arboreal Extractor. This guy right here extracts fluid from a tree. So 1 device frame, which is a copper gear, tin, glass, and then copper gear, iron gears, and a redstone server. We should really look at getting some kind of auto crafting going, I guess. Like really look at getting into like applied energistics or maybe refined storage so that we can try and get some of this stuff automated. But the good news is that we can go ahead and shift click things into the storage scanner here. Yeah, that did work. That's good. Would have looked a fool if that didn't work. And then just go ahead and click them and it will pull the items from inventories around us and auto craft it forwards, which is quite nice. I don't think we got any copper gears, and so I will go ahead and craft up a few of those. Now, the one downside to this system, really, or one of the downsides, I should say, to this system, because there are many, is that we're probably going to need an absolute butt ton of Arboreal Extractors in order to get this setup up and running, right? Because the amount of resin that you get from one Arboreal Extractor is ludicrously low. Like, it produces a very, very, very small amount of resin, and so it might take us like quite a large area of trees and Arboreal Extractors in order to get this up and running, but that's fine. You know, we're in a cave block, we've got quite a lot of space around us. There's no, you know, space limit. I guess there is like a somewhat of a space limit, but there's no real space limit on how much space we can use up. We're not going to make a 1,000 by 1,000 tree farm. You know, we'll be fine. So we'll figure this out. Let me smell up some glass here and see if we can't get this machine device frame. I keep forgetting the name of that. Let's see if we can get these up and running. I think I'll make a few of these. I think I'll start with 4 and we'll see if we need more after that. I'm fairly certain we will, but we'll see. What about glass walls next to the sieves? I did think about it. I didn't have as much time as I would like between streams. Like today I was trying to get some stuff ready, trying to edit some videos, and I still do kind of want to move all of this back and put up glass walls in front so that we don't end up, you know, picking up stuff that we're not supposed to pick up. But for now, it's not there. Again, I might do it between episodes, between streams. It really depends if I have enough time to do it. All right, let me see here. So if I want to get Arboreal, this guy right here, let's grab 2 of these device frames, and then let's make our first 2 Arboreal Extractor. So this is kind of a good, of course we're missing all the other stuff. Here we go. Let me go ahead and make 2 more of those, which we can do with just iron, like so. And then also go ahead and grab another one of these. I guess actually I might as well go ahead and grab like 3 more of those so we can make the 4 Arboreal Extractors that I want to get right. We got 2 of those. Give me 4 more. There we go. 6. And then all we're really missing now is a little bit more glass. So we'll try and grab that here real quick. And I guess here, whilst we're waiting for this glass to smelt up, I'm kind of thinking that over here is going to be the area where I put this. How much redstone do we have? We've got, what, 108 redstone? I'm really quite cautious about using too much of our redstone here because I don't want to have to do too much sifting in today's stream. I know it can get a little bit tedious to watch. And like I said before, we don't really have the power set up yet in order to get the sag mill system up and running to automate the sifting of dust. But I am going to put a little bit of redstone on this hammer just to make it a little bit faster. And by a little bit, I mean 11% faster. It's not a huge increase, but nevertheless, it should make, hopefully, a noticeable difference here in how long it takes us to kind of clear out an area. I'm not quite sure. Ooh, it gives us haste 3. I was about to say, I'm not quite sure what the shocking buff does, but I'm guessing now from the sound that we're hearing and also from the fact that we just got haste 3. Does shocking give you the ability to get haste every now and again? Like, is that how that works? That's a bizarre sound as well, right? Like, what is that? I like it. Shocking increases damage per tick. So why is it it's giving us... What gave us haste then? It looks like shocking might be giving us haste. Like whenever we use the tool for the first time, it then kind of ticks over, and in the top right we get that little like haste buff. I like it. But anyway, let me go ahead and craft up the remaining of these device frames here, and then let's also go ahead and craft up the 3 remaining Arboreal Extractors like so. What are we missing? Do we really... No, we've got these. They're right here. Game. Right there. Did I use them all? Oh, I've got 4. Okay. A little bit of server lag. So. This was a mistake. I should not have... What's my attack damage on this? 6.85, 8.7. So I should be using my hatchet to kill this man. I have still yet to die on the server. Another feat that I am very proud of. And I would like to continue this going forward here. So I would like very much so not to die to this creeper. Hold on. It is a compressed creeper, which I'm fairly certain means that when I attack it, it's going to explode into multiple more creepers, which I really don't like. I'm also like 99% certain that we don't have mob griefing turned off. And so if this creeper does explode, it will indeed damage all of my hard work. So please, sir, stay aware. Oh, it didn't explode into more creepers. I'm so happy. Oh my goodness. Also, it does look like mob griefing might be turned off by default, which I'm also very happy about. Please just die. Thank you. All right, let's wait for that. Oh, no, it's right there. Okay, I thought that might have been sucked up by the advanced item collector there. Thankfully, it has not. So, first things first, let me light this area up a little bit so that we don't die to any more unwanted visitors. And let's also throw down a little bit more stone here just to kind of even this out again. Like so. So let me grab a birch sapling. So I originally tried this with oak saplings. Unfortunately, oak saplings do not produce the resin that we're after. Oak saplings will produce sap, which I don't think is usable, at least not in generating power. And so instead, we're going to use birch saplings for this little setup. Grab ourselves one piece of dirt. I'm also going to grab like a good bit of bone meal here, just so we can kind of insta-grow this tree. We don't have to wait for it to grow or use the Twerking for Trees mod, aka Tree Growing Simulator, to force them to grow. I'm also hoping this room is tall enough, although it might not be here. So let's give this a try. Bone meal this up. Not tall enough? All right, that's fine. Let's make it hopefully that's tall enough. There we go. There we go. Okay, so let's see here. If I put down the Arboreal Extractor right about there, what we should see is very quickly, and by that I mean excruciatingly slowly, we will see it begin to generate resin in this little like spot here. Now you can make this faster by putting in some kind of fertilizer, and by that I mean the phytogrower is what it's called here. This stuff here. You can put any of these 3 in. These kind of act as 3 different tiers, and they will kind of multiply the amount of resin that you get every couple of ticks whenever this kind of ticks over and gives you resin. And so we could put these in. Right now we don't have a setup ready to kind of make this automatically, and it's not really something we could set up too easily, and so I'm not going to do that just yet. We're just going to put down more Arboreal Extractors like that, and you'll see that it does produce a very, very small amount of resin, but if we kind of set up a bunch of trees and a bunch of these Arboreal Extractors, we should hopefully get a decent amount of it. Now, I am being told by my top tier sources in the Twitch chat that if I use a spruce sapling, I will get more resin for my Arboreal Extractors, and so I'm going to put this theory to the test with a spruce sapling here. Again, unfortunately, spruce saplings, they require so much space. They're so space greedy. Do you even need a tree for the extractor, or you can just use a log? It might be quite... that's a good question, actually. I don't know if it does check to see if it's a tree. I will test this. I will test this theory. I mean, I think it looks better if it actually is next to a tree. And I think it might require a tree in order for it to work. Like, you might be able to fool the thing, actually, now that I think about it. If I remember correctly, I think it's something to do with it requiring, like, a leaf above it or not being able to see the sky or something. There's definitely, like, a way, I think, to fool the Arboreal Extractor here into thinking there was a tree about without there actually being a tree. With a block of dirt below it. Yeah, I was going to say, I definitely thought, because I looked into this back when I was playing Feed the Beast Beyond, quite a while ago now, but I was certain that there was a way to kind of fool the Arboreal Extractor into thinking that there was a tree, as opposed to there actually being a tree there. Put lava below it. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to work, but if we do that, does that register as a tree? Is this not tree enough for you, game? It will not work. It needs to be grown. I guess maybe in newer versions of Minecraft, there are like new ways to detect if a tree is a tree. All right, that's fair enough. Okay, in that case then, let me grab some of these ingots here of alumite and just repair this tool just a little bit. Like so. Nice. Actually, I'm surprised that one... Where am I being shot from? Oh, you're in there. I see. I was fairly certain that there was already a... oh, my FOV. Jeez. I thought there was already a torch in there, but let me throw another one down real quick. There we go. Okay. Okay. Let me do a little bit of digging here and try and clear out a bit more space for this freaking spruce tree then, because apparently this is the best one, and apparently the amount of space that we have right now is just not good enough for the spruce tree. I don't know if there's going to be enough space for a spruce sapling, but I'm going to try it. Also, do we have the dev null installed? I think I'm going to make a dev null real quick. I should have made it like at the start of the episode because now we've done kind of most of the digging that we're going to do. But a dev null, essentially, for those who don't know, is an item that's going to allow you to automatically void a specific item when you pick it up. So, for example, we're going to open it up by shift right clicking. Yep, we're going to put cobblestone inside. And now if we pick up any cobblestone, for example, this stuff right here, it will just... and let's assume in this scenario that you don't have an advanced item collector automatically sucking up all of the items that you drop. But if we drop cobblestone like this, and we pick it up, it's just automatically deleted, which is quite nice. And we don't end up with an inventory full of cobblestone, which we don't need because we've got so much cobblestone already being generated by our cobblestone generator. So... let us see here. Give me a spruce sapling. Let's throw that guy down right about there. This is definitely not going to be enough space, I don't think, but I'm going to give it a try nonetheless. And hopefully, we will get our first spruce tree here, at which point we can begin kind of comparing whether or not the spruce tree is any faster. There is our spruce tree. So, let's have a look here. If I put this down, I'm going to... okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to hope that this is not a biased experiment, even though it definitely is. I'm going to put one there and one there, right? And we're going to see which one produces more resin. Now, if true, like it might be the case that this one is slowed down by these two, but I kind of just want to get a feel and see if it does produce more resin. Like, does this one give more per cycle, or does it just do more cycles, right? Oh, it gives you more per cycle, I see. So this one's giving us 100 resin, and whereas this one will just give us 50, right? When it does it, when it first ticks over and actually gives us our first bit of resin. So it does indeed look like, as per usual, Twitch chat is correct in that the spruce tree there gives us more power than the birch tree. In that case, how do I do that? Isaac is sucking trees. It's true. I am. I'm just sucking on these trees right here. Okay, I'm going to cut these down real quick, and I'm going to get rid of... I kind of want to keep the resin, but I'm going to break these for now, because I want to get this kind of set up how I want it. We did lose a little bit of resin there, but that's fine. Get rid of this. It looks like they might retain their resin, maybe, because they're not stacking. So it's pretend they might retain their resin, although I would be surprised if they do. Thermal expansion machines usually don't, although I think the tanks do, so we'll see. Anyway... let me see here. I'm going to dig out a little bit more space because I'll probably, like I said before, I'll probably do most of the beautifying of this area between streams, but I do want it to be somewhat even here so we can kind of work with it. Just make a builder, Isaac? That is a good point. Like, we can use something like the builder from Buildcraft. Not Buildcraft. Well, we could use the builder from RF Tools. If we wanted to use everybody's favorite mod, Buildcraft, we could use the filler or the builder. I think the filler can also empty, if I'm not mistaken. A quarry would also work, I guess. Those would work. I think, you know what? Yeah, sure. Let's get a builder from RF Tools. I think that's going to make our life a lot easier. Have I done this correctly? No! Stop! Oh! Okay, it's okay. 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 It didn't get to the good stuff. I stopped it. Oh, no, please. No, this is not the time to die. I'm not. No. This is not the time to die. Okay? No. Okay, none of the important stuff. I mean, some of the important stuff got destroyed there. Did it actually get... Oh, no, I picked it up. Okay, this is fine. Okay, this is fine. Chat, this is fine. Nothing... This is fine.
3 days later.
Since the end of the last stream, I have done a little bit of work to try and rectify and try... We're getting more and more, by the way, of these evolved Endermen. I'm not quite sure if it's just the larger area that we have now, like the larger... The more we dig out, maybe the more they spawn. I'm not quite sure, but I spent a bit of time trying to fix some of the mistakes that we made in Tuesday's stream. Namely, we made some mistakes with the builder from RF Tools. We cut out some chunks of the world that I didn't want to cut out, and so I've rebuilt most of my stuff here. You can see the wall here is fixed. The pipes are fixed. All of the stuff that was here, all the setups are now working again and doing what they're supposed to be doing. And if we go around into here, I filled in all of the gaps that weren't supposed to be there, or most of the gaps that weren't supposed to be there, with cobblestone, right? I was going to do normal stone. I did smelt up like 4 stacks of normal stone, but then I kind of thought there's no need for so much stone. You know, there's no need for me to use stone there. I'm going to cover it up eventually anyway with, you know, decoration. I'm going to try and make all of our base look somewhat decent at some point in the future. It does not look decent right now. It looks kind of pretty terrible right now, but it's a work in progress. So today, the plan is to try and get power using the Arboreal Extractors to extract resin from these spruce trees. That resin is then going to be pumped into a fractioning still, I believe, is where we put that. Let me quickly check that. Let's do a quick fact check on the resin there. It does indeed go into a fractionating still, which turns it into tree oil with a chance of getting a rosin, which we could smelt for extra power in a steam dynamo, or really in any generator if we liked, or we could use it as a source of fuel in our normal furnaces. Any of those situations would work just fine, but mainly we're after that tree oil, which is going to be pumped into compression dynamos to generate redstone flux. I believe it's going to generate 80 redstone flux per tick for a total of 400,000 redstone flux. If someone wants to run the math on that for how many seconds or minutes it's going to last, you can do that, but that's the plan. And so between streams, I've gone ahead and thrown down 9 spruce trees. Apparently, spruce trees give you the most resin out of any of the trees. Originally, I was going to use birch. The Twitch chat corrected me on that one. And so the plan for today is essentially to put down these arboreal extractors around these trees. So I want to put 4 on every single tree to really try and maximize the amount of resin that we can get. And you'll notice that I've moved the platform up a little bit. I've moved all of the dirt and all of the trees up just a smidge to give us a bit of room down here. Again, right now it looks kind of bad, but eventually what I want to do is kind of bring all of this space kind of in a bit. You know, I don't want these big old gaps around the side like this. And I'm thinking of putting like a little archway like here and here, so you kind of walk in, you've got paths to go left and right and then up. These are very temporary chiseled stone blocks. Again, eventually I'll probably do some like chisel and bitting here to try and get a nice looking staircase, much like I've done with this here. These are chiseled and bit, chiseled seared bricks, I guess is the way you'd say that, to make them look like stairs because they don't have actual stairs in the pack. But enough rambling on about that. The point of this bottom area here is to give us an area to pull all of the liquid out of those arboreal extractors, pump it into the fractionating stills, and then pull out of the fractionating stills into the compression dynamos. This area down here is solely for that processing and for that power generation. Also, apparently, since the end of the last stream, I have acquired a rooster. I'm going to assume that this guy appeared by spawning on the grass. Is that possible? I don't know where he came from or why he's the only animal that we have, but he's here. He's doing his thing. You know, he hasn't done anything yet. I don't know if we can do anything with him. Apparently, he's a stud muffin, and that is fantastic. You know what? I kind of want to get a name tag and rename this guy to Stud Muffin right at the start of the stream here, so give me a second. Let's see. Stud... no, I need a name tag. I don't want to type in Stud Muffin. Actually, I think we have name tags, if I'm not mistaken, over here in the in our storage crate. And I will talk about, yeah, we do. We've got so many of them. Oh, but these are just names. Can I reuse these, chat? Like, if I make an anvil real quick, can I reuse one of those name tags again? I'm going to try it. Anvil. I will have to make a few blocks of iron first here, but that's really not going to be too difficult for us. Give me 3 blocks of iron, and then please give me an anvil so that I can rename my one rooster to Stud Muffin, because that is a fantastic name for a rooster. Oh, I can. Here we go. Stud with 2 Ds, Muffin. And you know what? It's all capitalized. Stud Muffin. Like that. Boom. here we go. So we'll throw that down on Stud Muffin over here, and he can guard the power room when it's all set up and ready to go. Oh, look at that, beautiful! I love it. Also, you may have noticed over by the mob spawner, I've put down a light in there because right now, as you'll know if you've been following the videos or the streams, our mob spawner is not good in any way. It doesn't actually automatically process any of the drops that we get from those mobs, and so constantly this chest here backs up with loot bags, and then when mobs die they just start dropping their items on the floor. Items back up, it lags the server, it's not worth it, and every so often I come over, I empty out a couple of loot bags, I drop them into our bag storage here, but it's not really a long-term solution, and so for the time being I have thrown down one of these feral flare lanterns in there just to make sure that no mobs spawn in whatsoever. I think for the time being we've probably got enough of everything. I don't think we're going to need more than like 8 stacks of gunpowder or bones or rotten flesh anytime soon. And so for the moment, I'm just going to leave it like that. Eventually, we will set up like probably a big old root spawner that automatically gives us all of those mob drops once we've got a decent amount of power. But for now, I'm going to leave that there. And before I start working on this arboreal extraction setup over here, what I want to work on real quick is getting dust automated. Because if we go ahead and look real quick at the recipe, for example, for the arboreal extractor, which is arboreal, like that, it's this one here, it requires a device frame, which is some tin, some copper, and some glass. I have started smelting up a bunch of glass over in these furnaces here. Each one has been smelting up a stack, so we've got quite a few stacks of glass. That's fine, but every single one requires a redstone servo, which needs 2 redstone. If we're going to put down 4 on each tree, that means we need 36 arboreal extractors, which means that we need to get ourselves at least 72 redstone if we're going to do that to make all of these redstone servos. On top of that, we need those fractionating stills, which is this guy over here. This thing requires redstone reception coils. We're probably going to need a few of those. That's even more redstone. And then on top of that, we've got those compression dynamos, which also require redstone. And as of right now, even though I did do a bunch of dust sifting before the stream started, we've only got 50 redstone. And the biggest reason for that, I think, is because I also spent quite a bit of my redstone making a ton of redstone engines so that I could make a bunch of these pipe pulsars, which are made, for those who don't know, with 1 redstone engine and 2 iron ingots, so that we can pull out all of the liquid that we get. But long story short, we've got a redstone shortage. And so the first things I would like to do here before we get started with anything else is to grab our 3 sag mills that we made in the last stream and quickly try and set this up so that it's producing dust and sifting dust. Even if it's really, really slow, it's going to give us a nice consistent source of dust here, a nice consistent source of redstone, which should make our lives just a little bit easier and hopefully will reduce the amount of sifting that I have to do in today's stream. Essentially, all I'm going to do here is just quickly set up the sag mills to turn cobble into gravel, gravel into sand, sand into dust, and then we're going to sift the dust exactly in the same way as we are doing over here. And temporarily, we're just going to move the Spectre coil, which is currently on the RF Tools builder over here, over to there, and again, use the same setup of putting it onto a thermal expansion energy cell, and then pulling the energy out of that energy cell in order to use it on all 3 of the sag mills, and hopefully, we will be producing enough energy to get all of that working. But we'll see. And then all we're going to do here is we're just going to set this to pull up from the bottom. And again, I'm going to be a little bit cheap here and just move this cobblestone generator, despite the fact that we could probably make another one in about 4.5 seconds because they're really not all that expensive. But I'm going to put one of these right about... It's going to look bad, chat, but I'm going to put it like right here. So let me quickly set this to pull in and then push out on this side. You are going to, I think I'd have to set this to pull, but I will do just to be safe here. So pull and push. And then here we're going to have the same thing again. We're going to have pull from this guy and then push on that side like so. And so now if I do that, I'm fairly certain we should start to see cobble to gravel, gravel to sand, sand to dust. Maybe. Isaac opened some loot bags to get another Spectre coil. Which loot bag? Yeah, there we go. It's working. Which loot bag did we open last time to get that Spectre coil? Like, which one was it? Which tier of loot bag? Because we've got... Right now, we don't have that many loot bags. They're all in my bag storage, and so I have to pick which ones I want and pull them out to try and get more of those Spectre coils if I want them. Also, do I have more wooden pipes right now? I do. Nice. Okay, cool. I'm going to make a lot more of these in today's episode. We're also going to have to try and get a lot of cactus, I think, because we're going to try and make a bunch of fluid pipes to move all of that resin from the arboreal extractors to the fractioning still, but that's fine. It's called the fractionating still, I think, not the fractioning still, but I'm going to keep saying it because it's already ingrained in my mind that that's the right way to say it, even though It is not. So apparently the stone transport pipes are better than the cobblestone ones, and so I guess we'll use those for the time being. Also, we're going to end up in the same situation here where I think it's going to be more beneficial for us to just use a diamond stiffened mesh on this one sieve here, because if we try and put the mechanical user directly above the standard sieve, it's just not going to work. It's going to delete any items that it does sift because there's nowhere for the items to go, just like it did before. I'm quite happy actually with how fast our items get back here. One of the problems we were having before is that it took a long time for items that were picked up by the advanced item collector to get back to where I could actually grab them. But thanks to the addition of multiple gold pipes in the setup upstairs, they're now coming back quite quickly, which is nice. So we'll just go ahead and do something like that. That is going to produce... Oh, excuse me? Why is that producing... Whoa. Have I done this incorrectly? Does gravel only go to sand and to dust if it's compressed? No, right? No, gravel goes to sand. Sand actually definitely goes to silicon. That's a problem. But I'm also pretty sure that if we type in dust, that we can get... Oh, we can't get dust from a sag mill, but you can get compressed dust from a sag mill. Oh, that's horrible. That is horrible. So that means that we're going to have to compress the cobblestone before we send it through to the sag mill. Okay. That's fine. That's not a big problem. It's not what I wanted to do, but that's fine, I think. Really, I think all that it means is that we have to put a compacting drawer above our cobblestone generator. I'm fairly certain that that will, by default, pull out, hopefully, the right one. If I do this and this, that will like output to there. I'm also going to clear out a bit more of an area here, but I think it's extracting the cobblestone, not the compressed cobblestone. Ugh. You gonna do me like this, game? You're gonna make me work for this? Okay, so in that case, I guess, like, it's not particularly difficult, and also, really, all we have to do is compress the sand before it goes into the final sag mill here, but I think it's going to be a lot cleaner if we just go compressed gravel, or compressed cobble even, to compressed gravel, to compressed sand, to compressed dust, because I think also, if we do put the compressed cobble and therefore, all the rest of the compressed items into the sag mill, there aren't any byproducts like there are right now. Like, we don't end up with that extra flint and that extra sand being produced, which means we don't have to worry about, filtering out all the excess stuff, which should be quite nice. In that case, what I'm going to do real quick is make the analog crafter from X Utilities 2. Really easy crafter to make, doesn't require any power whatsoever, and essentially all we need to do here is just move this guy yet again. I think also what we should be able to do is if we do this into this, like that, and then we set this up to compress cobble, and we tick the sticky box, which means it's always going to leave one cobblestone in each slot. I will also spread items so that it defaults to spreading all of the cobblestone around. That should go ahead and produce compressed cobblestone for us. That's then going to push it, be sucked in by the sag mill, making compressed cobblestone, turning that into the compressed gravel. That compressed gravel is then going to get pushed into this sag mill here, turning it to compressed sand, and then into compressed dust. And then after that, we then need to decompressify it. Although actually, no, we don't, right? Because all we have to do here is replace this. Because we're only using one sieve right now, all we need to do is replace that with our heavy sieve over here, and I think we should be good. I'm also going to make a very quick diamond stiffened mesh, simply due to the fact that because our sifting system has been working so well whilst I've been doing other stuff, we've actually got like 100 diamonds now, I think. Let me see here, diamonds. Yeah, we've got 158 diamonds, and if I'm not mistaken, it only takes 4 to make a diamond stiffened mesh, as well as 5 string. So if we just go ahead and quickly do something like this, that's going to get us another diamond mesh, which we can go ahead and throw down in here. I promise, chat, at some point, go ahead and start enchanting these. But for the time being, if we do that, I'm pretty sure that this should work out just fine. It's going to get us compressed dust and then sift that compressed dust. The final piece of the puzzle here is simply grabbing a pipe pulsar, which I'm going to go ahead and throw onto that wooden transport pipe to automatically start to go ahead and pull out all of that compressed dust. And that's it. I think we are pretty much good to go, chat. Look at that. It's pulling it in. It's getting it there. It's going to start sifting it any second now once I put in some... once I set it to actually do that, which is activate block with item. And there we go. Are we using too much grid power? We are not. Did I activate block with power, with item? Could you continue to do this, please? That's the right one, right? Activate block with item is the one we're using? No? Yes? Please? Oh, is it because it's a different mod? Does the... Oh, don't do this to me, game. Does the mechanical user not work on X Compressum, but only work on the standard civs? Is that the problem there? Oh, why? Why do you do this to me, game? Why do you do this to me? Okay, in that case, stop the pump. Stop the pump. In that case, I told you last time, Isaac, people told me that the standard sieve didn't work, and then I guess they meant the compressed ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that there, and all we're going to do is we're going to extract from here into here. This is going to turn compressed dust, this stuff here with sticky on, don't forget, into, and we're going to lock all of the other slots, because all we want this to do is turn compressed dust into normal dust, and then finally, holy heck, it's a bit of an overly complex system here, but then we're going to pull out from there down into there. That does mean that we can now get rid of this again, /home, so that I have to dig my way out of that hole, throw back down at the standard sieve, like so, whack in the diamond stiffened mesh, and hopefully, if I put down another one of those pipe pulsars, it should go ahead and begin pumping everything out just as we want it to into the mesh, getting it sifted, and thus getting us a decent source of redstone. That's the idea, at least. Is that working? It totally is. Nice. Okay, and again, for the time being, I'm just going to go ahead and grab the remainder of those speed upgrades. This one is not working, by the way, simply because of the fact that the sag mill doesn't have any power right now, and so all we got to do is just throw the rest of these into here to make it just a little bit faster. And there we go. That seems to be actually working quite nicely for us. Again, not super fast, but will get us a nice, somewhat consistent source of redstone as we progress on through in today's stream. So now that that is taken care of, let me first of all get rid of this freaking evolved Enderman. Still haven't died yet on the server, which I think is a new record for me personally. I think I'm like, what, 20 hours onto the server now? Let's have a look. Time played. Got to scroll down a bit to get to my name. 24 hours played. Number of deaths. Look at that. We'll do a quick little scroll down. Boom. There he is. GamingOnCaffeine. 0 deaths. 0 deaths. Not a single death, guys. Not a single death on the server. Give me the... What is it called that I'm after? I'm after the Devnal, so that I don't pick up all this cobblestone I keep breaking. I'm also going to dump some of my inventory here because we don't need to be carrying all of this just yet, especially that freaking builder, man. So we'll get rid of all that. I will put those grains of infinity back in here so they get put up into the storage drawer. And now that that is done, let's have a look at making a bunch of these arboreal extractors. And I guess really the first thing that I should do is put down the arboreal extractors that we do have, just so they can kind of get to work and start producing a little bit of the resin, so we've got something to work with when I set everything up, because these guys are incredibly slow. We mentioned it in the last stream a little bit, but these arboreal extractors are very, very slow, hence why I'm looking to try and make 36 of them, right? That's why we're going with so many trees here. It's power in numbers. I did also customize these trees. These are fake spruce trees, I guess. They were really planted. So I put down a sapling, I grew the tree, I sheared all the leaves off, I made them all the same height, and then I put the leaves back on like this, so they all look the same. They all fit into this nice small area that allows us to walk around. And the most important factor is that they still... Oh, really? You're not going to work for me? Excuse me? I'm mad. These were... Oh, I grew these. I have a witness. Ginger Beard Man was watching me. There's a spectate mode that you can use. Excuse me. They don't require power. Did you regrow them after placing the floor? I did indeed. Yeah, they don't require any power. So yeah, I put down the floor. I placed down the trees. I bone mealed them up. I sheared down the leaves, and then I put the leaves back on. I wonder if he reads this while he's streaming. Haha, we could plot against him. I don't actively read the Twitch chat. That would require some brain power that I do not have. Not the Twitch chat, the in-game chat there. Oh, Must be the pack update causing the problem? Maybe. The pack did update, but I can't imagine that's the issue, right? Like, we tried this before, and it seemed like you could put down a tree, and as long as the like the bottom block there was originally from a sapling, then it would work. The server, in fairness, the server has restarted since I did it. Maybe it's a case that, like, it doesn't count after a restart. I can't imagine that's the case either, though, right? Like, that doesn't seem plausible either. Let me just quickly kill this guy. We should really get some form of weapon, like a sword, so we don't have to keep working like that. Let me really quickly here try something. I did do some spruce tree growing in this room earlier because we've not got much room left in there. And so there is a piece of dirt here for me to use. Let me quickly try growing up a spruce sapling and trying to figure out like what the limitations are on this thing. So give me some bone meal. Give me a tree. And then if I throw down my Arboreal Extractor here, that should work, right? Yeah, that comes on. Okay, so we get rid of this, and then we get rid of all of the leaves with a shovel. And then I put another one down. See, that no longer works. That no longer works. And I'm fairly certain that totally worked in the last stream, no? Was that not the case? Like, I'm gonna have to watch the tape back, but I'm pretty sure that in the last stream that even once we bouldered the trees and removed all of their leaves, it totally still worked. Which is a little annoying, all things considered, because my whole master plan here, I mean, we can work with it like this. It just means we have to work with awkwardly sized trees, which is really not what I wanted to have to do. So I wonder at what point, read Eros's post. When you tested it, there were still some of the original leaves on top of the tree. Oh, so is it the case that if I get rid of like most of, but not all of the leaves, like if I do that and I replace this, that's still going to work? Again, I'll use a different one just to make sure. So that still works. So you just... Oh. Is it seriously the case that I have to leave that one leaf at the top there? Is that really the... See, that doesn't work. Well, in that case, chat, I guess I'm still going to do this because I want to get tree power, right? I'm all about power from trees. It just means we're going to have to reorient our plans ever so slightly and tear down these masterpieces of... You know, it took me like 20 minutes to put down all these trees, to make them all the right height. I bone mealed them all up individually, and I had to make the roof taller, and I placed down every single freaking one of these gosh dang leaves to make every tree identical. And then the game goes and freaking screws me like that. Gosh dang it. I do need to nom nom, yeah. Oh my goodness. Holy heck. All right, well, in that case then, chop them down, boys. Chop them down. Every single one of them. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. We're starting again. This will still work. This will still work. It might mean that we have to kind of We'll probably fit less trees into the same area now. Like right now I've got 3 trees per... Look at that. They're not even disappearing because they're not part of... If nothing else, this proves that I did spend the time to grow them all individually because these leaves are not fast leaf decaying. These were placed leaves. Holy heck. All right. Get rid of all of these. Time well spent. I did it for you guys, you know. I wanted this base to look nice. I wanted to have nice looking trees. But this is why we can't have nice things. This is why I can't have nice things. Okay. So. Give me this. I think what we're going to have to do here is just accept the fact that we get... Although, I don't know. Like, we can probably still make this look quite good. I'm going to need so much more... Like, I shouldn't need bone meal, actually, for this. Like, I should be able to just run around and get these to grow. You could fit plenty in 2 rows. That is true. Like in like 1 row going this way and then 1 row going that way. We could go forever, right? We could fit as many as we want in. Like really, I want to make them as compact as possible. But like, see, I like this. This is a nice spruce tree. If I could guarantee that every spruce tree was going to look like that, I would be a happy man. But we can't, unfortunately. That's not the way the world works. Come on, give me a spruce tree, would you? There we go. See, this one's too big. This is too big. Although, I guess it's fine. Like, I really wanted them all to be the same size, but I guess that is not going to be the case. I guess what we're going to have to do is put 1 there, and then 1 identically over here. Essentially, I'm giving it 2 blocks to kind of spread its leaves, and then also have a 1 block gap in the middle. So I'll try and get these to grow real quick. And then I guess for now, we'll just work with these 4 trees. And then between streams, I can always go ahead and add more to them in the future. I'm also still not quite sure how many of these trees, like this is a horrible spruce tree. Like what is this? But wow, tree judge much? I'm judging these trees. This right here, beautiful spruce tree. This right here is also actually quite a nice spruce tree, if a bit tall, you know? This one here is an ugly spruce tree. You're a short, ugly little spruce tree. Wow. I'm gonna get banned off Twitch. That's some hatred against trees right there. Don't fat shame the trees. They're beautiful how they are. Oh, you know, they might be, but they're not cut out for this business, you know. Don't forget to make the Ender mailbox, of course. Yeah, some people on the server did ask me, like, oh, look at that, it's another one. Some people on the server did ask me to make an Ender mailbox. You know what? I will do that real quick here. So the Ender mailbox, for those who don't know, is essentially a way for people to send Ender letters, which are essentially just little parcels you can put stuff. They're like chests that you can put stuff into and then put in a player's name. And if they have an Ender letterbox, not an Ender letterbox, an Ender mailbox. Yeah, this thing here. It will just transport them to that box. It basically means people on the server can send me stuff if they would like, and then I can go ahead and open it if I would like as well. So give me a hopper real quick here, and then just quickly give me a mailbox. I might be missing, yeah, the fence, but really the Minecraft fence shouldn't be all too hard for us to get. And kapow, look at that. It's a lovely little mailbox that we can place down in our base. And I think for the time being, I don't know, where do I want to place this? I'm going to put it like right here, like that, so that I always, like, I see it, so I know to look in it from time to time. I can't look at it right now. Maybe if somebody, oh no, I can, look at that, boom. Oh, you have to open it from the front, maybe? Oh yeah, you do. Okay, so you have to right click on the front, and it opens up, and there is space here for the Ender mailboxes. There are only like 8 slots or 9 slots, and so, yeah, 9 slots. And so space is limited, but I'll check those every so often just to see what it's like. So, now that we've got all these tree farms, I guess, yeah, we'll work with the 4 trees for now. That is going to make life a little easier in making more arboreal extractors as well. And so let's just throw our first 4 around this tree right here, like so. And then last one, kapow. Nice. All right, so that guy is there. How much redstone do we have? Because the redstone really is going to be the limiting factor here. Now that we're doing less, I think 64, 67 redstone might well be enough. But essentially, let me grab some wood, let me grab some glass, let's make a bunch of wooden transport pipes. And also, I guess my next problem that we're going to run into is not having enough cactus. Now, another problem that we're going to have here is that maybe we don't have any cactus, although I did sift some dust between streams, and so I'm really hoping that we do have some cactus seeds, although I'm still not quite sure if sifting dust is how you get cactus seeds. It's not. You get it from sifting sand, which we don't have, and I'm fairly certain that Isaac from the past was a complete dinkle douche and didn't leave one piece of cactus. He used all of it like a fool. And so now Isaac of the future has to manually sift a bit of sand here to try and get one freaking cactus seed. So for the Arboreal Extractor, you need 3 logs in a vertical. You must have 3 leaf blocks in a 3x3 above the extractor. And here's the important one. Leaves must have NBT decay data. So if the leaves won't fast leaf decay, then it won't work. Okay, so the leaves have to be, you have to have at least 3 leaves that were from the original tree, essentially, or from an adjacent tree that are nearby, I guess, maybe, or touch, that have the, so you got to leave 3 leaves. Okay, I see. And then you can kind of work the rest around it. All right. That's probably doable, actually. I could probably get, I did get some cactus seeds here, which is nice. I can probably get the same tree setup going there. I could probably make them look the same, but just do it in a different way, right? Because a lot of the leaves that I put down were like right up against the tree. And so if I just strategically shave the trees next time to make sure that at least 3 of the leaves are original leaves, as opposed to doing what I did this last time, which was just tear down and vein mine all the leaves and then put them back down. So it's doable, I reckon. We can make it work. But for now, and I will probably try and do that, by the way, between streams. For now, though, I'm going to go ahead and quickly throw down a little bit of cactus. And if I'm not mistaken, which I might be, and frequently am, I'm going to hazard a guess that we can use the watering can on the cactus. But bone meal is... Does bone meal work on... is this going to be a dumb question? Does bone meal work on cactus? No. 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 No, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Bone meal, cactus. Oh, that is so much easier. What the heck? That's like so easy. And you could burn me your sugarcane? Is this... No, this must be... Oh. You don't know how much time I spent between streams trying to watering can the freaking sugarcane because we needed so much magical wood for my hammer. We needed 8 magical wood, which means I needed so many books, which needed so much paper, which needed the freaking sugarcanes. I spent so much time. Oh. So each piece of cactus can be smelted into 1 piece of cactus green, which we can then use to make the pipe sealant, right? I think is what we need. Pipe sealant. Yeah, this stuff right here. We can just use... We could use a slime ball, but you can't use rice balls by the looks of it. So yeah, we can just craft 1 cactus green into 1 pipe sealant, and that will allow 1 pipe to be... Maybe 8 pipes, actually, now that I think about it. Maybe I don't need so much here. But that will allow multiple pipes to be able to go ahead and transfer liquids as opposed to items. And also, I'm getting a voice in my ear telling me that I have mail in my mailbox here. Oh, look at that. We have two our first 2 letters are in. Oh my goodness, it feels like Christmas Day. Let's have a look. What did Eros 2 send? He was the first. I assume he's the first one there. He has sent me 1 inventory crafting table cake. What has Shaggy sent me? He has sent me an inventory upgrade cake, eat to upgrade your inventory, as well as a standard cake, 2 cookies, a nom 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 book, and then 2 stacks of Kiss FC's favorite food and 7,000 Razor's favorite food, both of which are, of course, the pineapple pizzas, which are delicious. What does the nom 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 say? It says, here, have some food, stay well fed. Thank you very much, my friend. Can I put this back in? No, I cannot. Okay, I'm not going to open that just yet. I know what's in it. I'm just going to put that in there. Whilst I thank you for this book, Shaggy, it is now trash to me, and I'm going to just throw it on the floor and let it despawn. No hard feelings. And then Eros, I will actually go ahead and open and eat this cake, because I'm... Oh, I feel bigger. Look at that. It's a 3x3. Do I have to click this button every time? I kind of wish I didn't, but it's a 3x3 crafting grid in the person. That's crazy. That's cheating. That's not allowed. That's not how the game's meant to be played. But I'll take it. That's nice. And then what, did you give me an inventory upgrade? Is that like a bigger inventory, this one here? I love that. Yeah, is that... okay. So this I might not use because I know in Enigmatica, I was like a pain for putting stuff in here and then forgetting about it entirely. Like I'll put my watering can in here and then you don't see it right away, and I spend 20 minutes looking for my watering can before Twitch chat says, Isaac, you're a dum-dum, it's in your freaking extra inventory slot. So whether or not I end up using that is a different question. But for the time being, let me grab some pipes. I think we should already have some wooden waterproof pipes. I don't know where those are, but I'm fairly certain that we do have them, right? Like we did make pipe sealant before, and I'm pretty sure... Again, though, do you only get... I'm not quite sure. Does the pipe sealant only seal 1 pipe, or does it seal 8 pipes? For example, if I do this and get us some more wooden transfer pipes, and then you can craft those, I believe, with pipe sealant, which I do need to smelt first. But then can you craft 8 at a time, or does it only craft the 1? So that makes... No, that doesn't make anything. That makes Cactus the pipe sealant. That makes us a wooden transfer pipe. If I do this... Am I being optimistic here, chat? Yeah, I'm being way too optimistic. So you do need 1 pipe sealant for every single fluid transfer pipe, which is actually kind of crazy. But thankfully, we're not sending our resin all that far. So I did not want to put you there. If we look in here now, we've got, a bucket and a half of resin in about each one of those. So let's make sure I get the right block here. I think it's that one. It is. So we want to dig out all of these areas under here, and I do have a diamond shovel that I made between streams. So we'll get rid of all these, and essentially we're going to have a wooden fluid pipe on every single one of these. The reason why I made so many of these pipe pulsars over here is so that we have this stuff. Isaac, don't ever cook cactus you have. Why? What's the problem with cooking the cactus? Don't use all the cactus. That's a good point, actually. I will throw down. Yes, you are correct. I will leave 2 cactus here so I can get it in the future, even though I'm pretty sure we do have... cactus seeds already. But yeah, we can craft this into pipe sealant. We can craft up a couple of Buildcraft fluid pipes like so. I'm going to do 3 for now, like that, just so we can do this first tree. And then let's grab all of the pipe pulsars here, those acting as redstone engines, but a lot smaller. And so now we could throw these down on every single one of these arboreal extractors. I'm not quite sure if we have to set the bottom of the arboreal extractor here to orange, like that. You might have to do that to make sure that it can output. But if we do that, like so, I also don't know, I know normal Buildcraft pipes will just drop an item out if you extract and they have nowhere to go. I get the feeling that they're not just going to drip the liquid onto the floor, so I feel somewhat safe in just putting these on the pipes and even turning them on. That should then begin to extract the liquid out of the Arboreal Extractor. There we go, look at that, it's filling up with resin. And then if we make some more of the like stone or gold fluid pipes, we can then pump that round into a fractioning still. And I think to start with here, what I'm probably going to do is have like 1 fractioning still per tree. That might be overkill or underkill. I'm not quite sure. It depends really on how fast the resin gets produced and on if we go ahead and upgrade the speed of our arboreal extractors at some point in the future. But for now, we'll go ahead and we'll make 1 fractionating still. This thing should be super easy for us to make. It is 1 nickel gear, 2 glass, 1 machine frame, 1 redstone reception coil, and then 2 Constantan gears. Between streams, I did go ahead and throw a bunch of nickel and a bunch of copper into the smeltery. Constantan, for those who don't know, is an alloy between nickel and copper, and so that is why we got 6 blocks of it over in the system there. I did accidentally make a little bit of aluminium brass. I didn't mean to. We got 4 millibuckets of this stuff. I do, however, want to get a gear cast real quick so I can just pull out all of that Constantan, or at least a Constantan that we're going to use in ingot form. And so I'm just going to throw 2 gold in real quick. And if we grab a gear, I think wood might work, although I might have to upgrade that to a stone gear real quick. Let me just quickly do that. Again, I'm not quite sure if I do need to do that, but we'll throw a stone gear in. That's not what I want to do. That's a Constantan ingot. But you know what? You can never go wrong with a Constantan ingot. What I meant to do is put down the gear like that. And then as soon as this gold is finished, we'll pull that out, make a gear cast like so. Again, hopefully the gold doesn't mix with anything else that's in there. I really need to go through and just delete and empty out my smeltery, and in the future take more care with what I put in here and try and get the ratios correct more of the time. But there's a gear cast. We'll throw you in, and then we'll begin to pull out a couple of Constantan gears. Whilst we wait for that, let's come back over to here and see if we've got what it takes to make the other gears, the fractionating still. This guy right here, nickel gear, real easy. I'll go ahead and make 4, why not? And then glass machine frames. We might need more tin gears, of which I'm going to go ahead and make like a few. I guess we'll go ahead and bulk make stone gears. And before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and bulk make wooden gears. So give me like 64 wooden gears. That seems fair enough. And then go ahead and like upgrade all of those to other gears, because I feel like we're going to need quite a lot of machine frames, right? Not just for the fractionating still, but for everything, right? So I'm just going to do this and then just give me as many as you can make. You know what? 32 will do for now. 32 will do. And then give me like 8, 16 tin gears. Sure. So we'll make a few machine frames. We'll then go ahead and make a couple of these reception coils, which we don't have redstone for, really? No, I was going to say we totally do. Sometimes it doesn't quite register there, but that's fine. And then we'll pull out another one of these, and that should get us our first fractioning still. And again, whilst we wait, but this is almost done. I'll just wait for this to finish. And then after that, we can go ahead and get ourselves the compression dynamo, this guy right here, which again is not too hard to make. Tin gear, tin, iron, redstone, more silver, redstone, real simple stuff. And once we got that, we should finally begin to start making our very own source of power. So, fractionating still, which I keep spelling wrong, but here we go. Fractionating still, Capel, give me one of those, and then let's also go ahead and make our first compression dynamo. Like I said, we are going to need more of all of these, but if we can just get the basics up and running here, which is 1 more redstone transmission coil, and kapow. Nice. Okay, so now we should have, I think, all of the pieces of the puzzle that we need. So, let me go grab some more of that Cactus pipe sealant, which is this stuff right here. We'll go ahead and smelt some of this up and craft it into pipe sealant. And so now I'm thinking whether or not I want to use golden pipes or if I want to use like standard stone pipes. I don't know if it makes a difference. Speeds up items. Fluid pipes. Does it make a difference here? These could transfer 80 millibuckets a tick, whereas the stone ones can only transfer 20. But we've got a fair bit of gold, right? Yeah, I really don't see a reason not to, I don't think, here. I think we'll go ahead and we'll take 4 of those. I think I'm going to have to make 1 more here. Again, I'm fairly certain that that's going to be overkill as far as we're concerned. I don't think we're going to be pushing that much resin that we need the gold pipes, but, you know, we might as well go ahead and use it while we've got the excess gold, and I am missing just 1 piece, so let me quickly grab that and craft up another 8 of these pipes, and we're going to make, for now, like 5 of them into fluid pipes, like so, and then push all of that resin down and into our fractioning still, which does require power in and of itself, which is something we are going to have to work on here. But if we do this, and then I guess we could just do, we could put the pipe in the middle here, or we could have, yeah, I think that's going to make more sense, right? If we put the fluid pipe there and then the fractioning still there, and have that all pump in. I'm going to reset that and make sure the top is an input. The resin is coming in. And so for now, just to get the ball rolling, I'm going to once again, and hopefully for the last time, I'm going to go and hunt down our Spectre coil here and move it over onto the fractioning still, which I think, again, has been picked up by our advanced item collector, which, as always, is incredibly fast at what it does. And I guess whilst we wait, we can just drop that on the floor so that it's ready to get sucked up and processed. Any second now, I predict that a Spectre coil will arrive here. It has. Good stuff. Let's throw this down onto our fractioning still, like so. That's going to provide it with power, and the fractioning still is going to slowly but surely begin turning that resin into tree oil, which we're then going to pump down into our compression dynamo. Now, I don't know, actually, if this auto outputs into like, if I set the bottom here to red, and then I put this down like here, would that auto output into the compression dynamo? It actually might. Also, did I make the right dynamo here? Am I a fool? Hold on. Tree oil. I might have made the wrong dynamo. No, I did. So you can use the compression dynamo with just 1 fluid, maybe? Also, I think eventually what I'll do is I'll have like all of my compression dynamos in one place, and we'll have all of the tree oil pumping to those compression dynamos. But for now, just to kind of get this ball rolling, let's go ahead and, how do I want to do this? I think what I might do, and again, it really, I don't have a solid idea of how much each of these are going to produce and how much each is going to require. Like, I don't know if 1 compression dynamo per tree is good, or if that's going to be nowhere near enough tree oil, right? Like, I don't know quite how that's going to play out. But if we do something like this, and then I'm going to go get myself a crescent hammer real quick. Hey, Stud Muffin. How's it going, man? Let me get myself, do I have a crescent hammer? I don't. Let's quickly make a crescent hammer. Like so. And that's going to allow us to rotate the compression dynamo. So if I do that, and I set that to red, is that going to output? It's not. It doesn't auto push, I guess. So I will have to kind of set up a fluid pipe to pull that out. That's fine. That shouldn't be a problem, really. Do we have 1 lying around? We don't, but we do have more cactus green. And so I can just do something like that. And then, actually, no, I've done this wrong, right? Yeah, I'm a fool. Hold on. I have done this incorrectly. Let me try that again, because it might auto output still. If I rotate this to face downwards, and then I set the actual bottom to be red, not the fake bottom, it does output. Nice. Now, that doesn't produce any power just yet. It might require a redstone signal to trigger it. And it might also require some kind of other fluid. Like, I might have to pump water into there for it to work. It doesn't show that in JEI, and so I'm really hoping that's not the case, but it might end up being the case. We'll find out in just a second here. If I do these require a... Yes, you need coolant. Is water going to work as coolant? Let's have a look. Information. Generates redstone flux using fluid fuels, and coolants. Stronger coolants reduce the efficiency. Yes, you need a coolant. Can also be gelid cryothium. I think gelid cryothium is a little difficult for us to make right now, right? Gelid cryothium. Like, if we were going to try and make this, we would need cryothium dust or pre-existing, like, blizz powder, is it? Something like that. Cryothium dust, blizz powder, there it is, yeah. Which we could make, I guess, using experience eventually with snowballs. Like, the snowballs are just water, right, in the aqueous cumulator, the glacial precipitator. So, like, that's doable. I guess, but for now we'll go with water. Let me go ahead and grab a sink from Cooking for Blockheads. This thing is really cheap to make and also really quite good at what it does. Do we not have... Oh, there we go. I'm guessing we don't have the... we don't have the terracotta. Do we have any clay? We do not. That is fine. It means instead I'm going to go ahead and grab some dust. Thankfully, we've got quite a bit of that now. Again, I've really not got used to this. I keep shift clicking to pull out a stack of items as opposed to pulling out just the one that I need. Like so. Get a sink. And so the sink, as I mentioned, will just automatically produce water infinitely. It's pretty good like that. We do have a spare wooden fluid pipe here. And so if we just grab that with the pipe pulsar, this thing is not very fast. At all, extracting at 10 millibuckets per tick, but if we do this, we can at least see if this is anywhere near fast enough. If I do that, I do need to use my wrench here, because right now it's trying to pull out of the compression dynamo. We want that, like, opaque bit pointing towards the place we're trying to pull the liquid from, in this case, of course, the sink. And so if we do this, that should then begin to pull the water out of the sink into the compression dynamo, which should, in turn, hopefully, maybe, produce power. And it is nice, producing 40 redstone flux per tick. It might be pumping that back into... Is that going anywhere? Oh, is it sitting in the fluid duct, the flux duct? It is. Okay, so I think the flux ducts from thermal expansion, or thermodynamics, I should say now, do in fact store power in themselves. But there we go. That is the basic idea of how we're going to produce power. The amount of power we're producing is slowly going down. The reason for that is that as the dynamos fill up, they do lose power. If we were pumping that power into, for example, machines or into an energy cell of some description, it would go ahead and continuously produce that 20 redstone flux per tick. For example, if I were to go ahead and grab another energy cell real quick, which we were partway towards making earlier in today's stream, and so it shouldn't really be too difficult for me to make another one of these. I do have electrum. It's in here. Give me one of those, please. And then give me another energy cell, please. Why, thank you. So if we put this down over by the compression dynamo, it should begin to fill it with power. Now, the question really at this point is whether or not this thing can be sustained, right? Like whether or not this compression dynamo can continue to continuously produce 40 redstone flux per tick with the arboreal extractors that we have. I don't think it's going to be able to. I get the feeling that we're not going to be producing enough resin to keep this thing filled up with tree oil, the dynamo that is. I think it's going to burn through it faster. So that could be a problem. Really, all that we have to do in that scenario is pump 2 trees worth or 3 trees worth or maybe even 4 trees worth into one dynamo. If that's the case, and then, if that is the case, it's not going to be great. If we have to have 16 arboreal extractors to produce 40 redstone flux per tick, that could be pretty bad, right? Like, that's not going to be fast at all, which would be pretty devastating. But I'm still kind of holding out hope that this might work. We're at 1,500 millibuckets. We do also have this rosin here, which we can put to good use in any other kind of generator as a source of fuel, which I probably will do. I'll probably make some steam dynamos, I think is what they're called. Yeah, these guys right here. Some steam dynamos that we'll then use to go ahead and turn this rosin into a little bit of extra power to pump into the system as well. It is essentially just burning fuel to generate power, but it should work out quite nicely. Right now, we are using 20 redstone flux per tick to produce 40. Which is not the best. I mean, we're not actively using 20 redstone flux per tick because it's not fast enough yet, but that's kind of what we're doing. It looks like, though, it's somewhat holding steady. It did drop down to 1,400 there. All right, this is it's going down slowly, and so I get the feeling that like 2 trees might be enough to power one of these, or maybe even like 1.5 trees. At which point we'd have 3 trees to 2 dynamos, something like that. But I'll do some experimenting between streams. I'll make some more of this. I'll basically expand out this setup and make it even bigger. I'll put down more of the fluid pipes. I'll get more fractioning stills, more compressed dynamos, and set this up to look quite nice and hopefully function quite well. I think really the only way that we can pump water in faster, if we needed to, would just be to put more pipes around and pump in on multiple sides, but we don't need to. It seems that 10 millibuckets per tick is more than enough to keep the compression dynamo going, which is quite nice indeed. Let's do a quick check on what's going on over here. So it's still got tree oil, but it is going down. So it does take a while to burn through it, but it is kind of slowly but surely burning through that power, right? We can tell just by looking at this that it's gone from 1,500 millibuckets to 1,200. So slowly over time, it is losing, right? We're working on a deficit of tree oil right now, so we do need to get more trees involved per dynamo. So we will work on that. Like I said, I'll work on that between streams. One of the final things I kind of want to see about setting up here before we wrap up is I kind of want to look at setting up a Flux network. Now, I don't know if we've got what it takes. I think we might, because we've got quite a few ender pearls, and we've also got quite a lot of resources, all things considered. And so at Flux networks, these ones here. So the hardest part here is, I guess, obsidian. Flux is just redstone that's either smelted or I believe burned also works and is faster, as well as Eyes of Ender, which are blaze powder and ender pearls. How many ender pearls do we have? We've got 27, and so I really think we should be able to set this up. So the first thing we need to do here is get a Flux controller. That is made with 4 Flux blocks, which is so much Flux. Actually, we might be low on redstone of all things. We've got 82 redstone. I'm going to try it. I'm going to give it a go. It's going to take a lot of Flux, and we might run out, but we might just be able to get like a basic system for transferring power up and running. So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and light a fire. We'll do it somewhere. Oop, don't get caught by the cactus. We'll do it like here for now, and we'll just go ahead and light some redstone on fire, like so. Thank you. You can make Flux blocks directly from redstone blocks. Really? So like, can I... Well, now that I've done this, can I do this? No. But you're saying... Now that I've messed this up, are you saying that I can... Hold on. Can I do this? You can put an alloy smelter. What, the redstone? So can I do this? No. Wow. That is just some I've been lied to. Maybe that was like an old version of the mod or something. But that 100% did not work. I just destroyed a piece of a block of redstone there. Oh, after saying that I'm low on redstone. But anyway, let's go back to @Flux Networks here. So for those who don't know, Flux Networks is a mod that adds wireless power transfer. So we are going to go, I think, with let me go back to @Flux Networks. We need to get ourselves a Flux controller. This guy right here. This is the central core of the Flux network. And for that, we need 4 or 5 even of these Flux blocks, 2 Flux, and then 1 Flux core, which is made with obsidian, more Flux, and an Eye of Ender. Flux, of course, being made by burning that redstone there. So the hardest part here really is going to be getting just so much redstone. Like, we need 5 blocks. Each block needs 5. So that's 25 redstone there, as well as each block requiring 4 Flux cores, which is 4 more redstone. So that's like 29 redstone in total just for that. 30, 31, and then 4 more is like 35 redstone. That's like, we might be able to get the... We might be able to get the Flux controller up and running, and then maybe make 1 Flux plug and 1 Flux point. I think that should be doable. So I guess now I'm just going to go ahead and quickly make like a bunch of obsidian, because that's the other resource that we need quite a bit of. And right now we do not have much of it at all. Kapow, kaboom, and maybe... Just maybe, we need to get another set. I see. See, this annoys me a little bit, because a lot of the recipes in the Flux mod use 4 Flux cores at a time. The Flux controller is like the one recipe that uses just 1 Flux core. And so for the rest of the game, I'm going to have 3 Flux cores just lying around unusable, because every other craft requires 4 of them. But anyway, we'll find a good place for this, I think, at some point in the future. For now, I'm just going to whack it down here, and I'm going to very quickly make myself, hopefully, a Flux plug and a Flux point. So the Flux plug is 4 more Flux cores, as I mentioned, so we're going to have to make another set of those, which does require another Eye of Ender, which is fine. I think that's going to be the last one we need Oh, no, it's definitely not going to be the last one we need, because we need a Flux... block. Okay, so I guess we'll make another one of these whilst I'm here, and then I will make 2 more sets of Flux cores, aka 8 Flux cores. We're missing 1 wee piece of obsidian. I think we're actually missing 2. It's just not showing us. Thankfully, the lava is ready to go, so we'll grab 2 more of you. And I think, guys, we've got what it takes to set all of this up. So, give me another set of those. We've got 11 Flux cores. If we go ahead and make ourselves another Flux block, like so, and then make ourselves... Oh, we're going to need 1 more, aren't we? And then make ourselves a Flux plug. We are then 1 Flux core away from making the Flux point. Let's quickly grab that block of redstone real quick. We don't have enough redstone, really. Also, there is like... Is this working? 14.49 out of 14. It's not. There is a problem with our grid power still, apparently. Yes, there is indeed, Isaac. The problem is that there is no water source block there. That is easily fixable. And now that we got the sink over here, we can just pull water out of the sink whenever we need it. It's just a 1-block unlimited water source, which is fantastic. And we can go ahead and throw that down into our pond here, at which point our sifting system should resume once more. And hopefully get us that. We need one more piece of redstone. Finally, I can go ahead, I can craft up the final one of these, and then therefore go ahead and craft up the freaking flux point. So, now that we have a flux plug and a flux point, finally, what we should be able to do is get power back to our systems. So, like right now, we've got a ton of ores backing up in here because there's no power currently going to any of these machines. Our Spectre coil is over there on our fractionating still. We've got no power being sent to our sag mills, no power being sent anywhere. Thankfully, this can now be fixed. So, if I don't stand next to my cactus and try to avoid dying here, what we should be able to do is put down a flux point here. This will receive wireless redstone flux. And we put down a flux plug over on our energy cell that is receiving the power. Make sure the front there is set to output. We're going to go ahead and connect that to the GamingOnCaffeine network. But first, we have to go make that GamingOnCaffeine network over in the Flux controller. So create a network. The network is going to be called Stinky Cheese, like that. It's going to be a lovely yellow color, which is like what? 0 red, 100 green. How do you make yellow, chat? That's not yellow. Is it red? Oh, it is a bit of red. And then, is it 255, 2550? Oh, it is. Look at that. 255, 2550. I'm also fairly certain that you can, like, could you not click and pick a circle for that? Anyway, 255, 2550. There is our yellow network. Stink Cheese. Did I call it Stink Cheese? I did. Stink Cheese. That's the network. And so that is our wireless network. Anyone on the server can set one up. Over here, we're going to go ahead and set our flux plug to the Stink Cheese network. So this will now pump power out of here into the Stink Cheese network if it has somewhere to go. In this case, I want the power to go over here to the flux plug. And so, the flux point, sorry. And so if we do this and select the Stink Cheese network, you can see it's now pulling 1,000 redstone flux per tick out of the Stink Cheese network and pulling it into all of these machines here through the redstone flux ducts. The reason why it's sending 1,000 redstone flux per tick is because right now our energy cell is a basic energy cell from thermal expansion with a maximum output of 1,000 redstone flux per tick. As all of those machines fill up, you'll see that right now it's not putting that much in. This is sending 200. Not 1,000 because it doesn't need 1,000 anymore. You know, not all of these machines require that much power. And so once they've all filled up with redstone flux, you'll see it's now only pulling 50 redstone flux per tick, which is quite nice, actually. You know, it's almost what we're producing. We're producing 40 if this is using 50. You know, it means obviously we are working at a deficit. But like I said, between streams, I'm going to go ahead and set up more Arboreal Extractors, maybe more fractioning stills, definitely more compression dynamos to get even more power up and running on the server. And finally, let's go have a look here. Apparently, I have yet more mail from 7,000 Razor, who has sent me 16 redstone. Thank you, my friend. The support means a heck of a lot. Look at that. Just freaking free redstone. I love it. I love it. All right, guys. With that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's stream there.